to Vincent Muriel Triana. Um, and Papa, I think you were talking about the job at the machine place
Machine
with
shop.
the
Kelly Wire Dye was the name of the
Mhm.
corporation. And I stayed there 2 years after I got out of service, and had the job of taking care of 20 people.
Mm.
And I got a fair salary. I think it was $1.25 an hour, which was a lot of money in those days. And the job became a little too tough for me. I was very young yet, and I was in charge of those people, but I wasn't getting enough money for doing what I was doing. So I decided to quit. We had just had, Gary was born just about then. He was a baby, and Muriel was shocked when I quit the job. And I went civil service happy then. I took all the civil service jobs I could take. Post office, Brooklyn Navy Yard, fire department. And all of a sudden, I was out of work for 2 months after I had quit. And I got a job in a wire mill in Maspeth, Queens. And we had a tough time getting into the building. So I had Mom call up the company and told her she was from the Veterans Administration. And they said, we have a young man here that can make wire dyes for you. And he's a veteran. They said, great, send him right down. I had no trouble getting into the building at all. And I got the job. I stayed there about 6 months. And they gave me the job as first in the factory, working a bunch of machines which cover wire. And then they knew they were going to lose one of the men that were repairing their dyes. So they knew they had me. So after 6 months, they gave me the job. The guy had left for Connecticut. And I found out I had broken this guy in and how to make dyes. And he was a terrible worker. So I knew I wouldn't have no trouble at all, which I didn't. And I had one fellow that was in charge of me. After a week there, they wanted to give me his job. And I refused because I became very friendly with the guy. I didn't want to hurt him. So after I was there another 2 months, I got all of a sudden all the civil service jobs come to me. The post office, the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and the fire department. No, the fire department I passed, and I got on the list. But then I decided which job would be steadier. And I went to the post office.
How'd that go?
And I took a cut in pay, but I knew it would be steady. And I did that for 3 years. And then the fire department come along, and I become a fireman.
What made you go to being a fireman, though?
And that was in 1950, November.
What made you decide to leave the post office and become a fireman?
Yeah. And what made me leave?
Yeah.
The money. Nothing else. And at that time, I think we were making $3,000 a year. But they were going to get raises. And I liked the job. And I stayed there for the next 25 years. I became a lieutenant, and after a little less than 8 years, and I stayed a lieutenant till I retired, which was another 18 years.
Oh.
I then became a fire safety director
Hmm.
for the phone companies,
Okay.
and very easy job for me. And but it took up all my spare time. Like I used to retiring, so I really retired. And Muriel and I would go out for lunches almost daily, and go shopping. We filled up our closets. In the meantime, we bought the house on Staten Island,
On Corbin Avenue.
Morgan Avenue. And
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed our retirement. We joined the swim club,
Mm-hmm.
and we made quite a few friends at the swim club, and the years just flew by.
Well, speaking of the years flying by, well, a couple more things I wanted to ask you about when you guys got married and what you used to do together. What stands out the most for you about your wedding day? Do you remember anything specific about your wedding day? Do you remember anything specific?
Yeah, it had snowed very hard that,
Oh, yeah, it
that
snowed. And
time.
we had gone, where did we go, Will?
Well,
Someplace.
We
How's the popping movie?
we then with our bridesmaid and best man, we took them to Manhattan in the Times Square area. We got a hotel room in a hotel opposite the Paramount Theater, a large hotel there. I even forgot the name of it.
Well,
And-
anyway, we ended up living at my mother's house, and
Well, anyway, we took out our best man and maid of honor. And we did everything a person could possibly do in one day. We went to the Brass Rail for breakfast. We then had tickets for Hell's a Poppin'. So we went out to lunch. And
What's
you know what she said, Helen? She had the best time at our wedding than her own.
she had a better time at our wedding than she had at her own. She had a big wedding.
Big.
So you
I
kind of think
remember
of.
one bologna sandwich. They
Well,
didn't give too
anyway,
much to eat. They fed their own family and then invited you afterwards.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
that night we went to another nightclub, and we were there till the wee hours of the morning, dancing and drinking and eating, and that was the night of it. I took 3 days off for my job at that time. Big deal. But
Well, we went out walking and we found an apartment which your parents used to have these same people. They gave them an apartment or
oh, we went to Wilby Avenue.
yeah.
It was apartment. It was a cold water flat, completely renovated. And the man remembered us as the children of my parents had an old two-family house,
Mhm.
and they rented them their apartment and treated them very nice. So when they seen us, they gave us the apartment. Not give us, but it cost us a big $22 a month. And
But that was nice. I used to walk to my mother's and father's every day, back and forth, to see them.
Mm.
And that I used to enjoy.
and Gary, of course,
And what?
Gary was with you all
Oh,
the
yeah,
time.
Gary was always with me.
And
But he was born on Willoughby Avenue.
Oh.
so
And then after Gary,
Af-
then
after-
Della came.
after
How
3
many
years,
months?
after
After
3
4
years,
years.
4 years of Willoughby
4
Avenue,
years Della was
we
born.
well, no, we're not done yet. 14 years.
For 14 years.
We bought a house in Glendale, paid a big 12.5 for it. It was a one family house converted into two.
Oh.
And we had a young couple living above us, and we stayed there for 14 years.
Hmm.
And we took over the whole house when Delanne was born. And she was born almost 14 years after Gary.
Oh. What made you two wait so long?
We couldn't afford to have, we didn't want to have a child that we couldn't afford.
Okay.
And once I got promoted as a lieutenant, I figured we could
Before
afford it.
that, we used to tell everybody, they said, what did you have to eat? And we would say, oh, steak and everything. And we would live in a plain macaroni.
Well, not that often, but it
when
was
we
not
did.
bad.
I did some time back it was. And remember when I found the money $1, we went to the store and bought a steak?
What she's speaking about is the time I quit my job, we didn't have too much money.
But I often think that's why Gary liked macaroni.
Yeah. So anyway, we bought this house and we were pretty satisfied with it. We kept it, we paid it off as quick as we can with the rent money.
Mm.
I think we paid it off for about 12, 14 years. And I became a lieutenant, and I was able to, I was a lieutenant for 10 years, and we went to Staten Island with the fire engine. They had large brush fires, and I liked what I saw, and we found a house. We then went looking on Staten Island for a house, which became, we bought a new house, and for almost the same price we sold our house in Glendale. And we threw a little extra money into it and fixed it up real nice. And we stayed there until 47 years. And from that, we moved into Delanne's apartment.
Oh, that's where we are now.
And this is 1 year later. We are now 93 years of age, and we're resting comfortably.
He amazes me how he remembers it. I'm like a dope.
No, you're not, Nanny. It's a lot to remember. I didn't even know about this until now.
Grandpa, he's talking a blue streak, and I'm saying nothing.
No, just whatever you can remember. By all means, let it come out, and I'm happy to hear. Whatever you can remember, just let it come out, and we'll go from there. That's why I wanted to do this.
I can't remember hardly anything.
You're still saying a good amount.
At times when we joined the swim club, we got to know a lot of people, but then they all died off and nobody's left.
Well,
so your life changes as you get older.
Oh, absolutely. But maybe can you tell me about, well, there's a couple other things I wanted to know. Maybe about, tell us about maybe what you did with some of your well, can you tell us maybe some of the things you do remember about maybe when you two were married? And getting back to that, I wanted to know maybe, I know Mommy said she remembers a few trips that you two had gone on with her, like maybe to Niagara Falls and things like that.
Went to Niagara Falls. So anyway.
Do you remember any of that, Nanny?
I remember getting on what is that thing that when the portage?
Tram that would.
And people would get over, and we went so close. Everybody started screaming. We thought we were going to go under the falls. You remember?
We went on a boat called
in a boat, yeah.
The Miss.
But some people got off at the American side, and they never came back again.
So.
Yeah. No.
A couple of trips up there, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we used to go to Pennsylvania, to her sister's place.
Yeah.
Where was
Yeah.
where was that exactly?
Where was that at? Where your sister had the bungalow?
Dingman's Ferry.
Dingman's Ferry.
Hmm.
Her husband
She
built
had
the house.
she had a house out there. And it was washed away with the flood, that they had no clothes left or nothing.
Well, he rebuilt the house, her husband Louis.
They still got it? The son-
And they had it moved when they changed. They were going to build a reservoir in the area. So the parents had it moved up to where they got it now. Another spot in Pennsylvania. Which,
Now that Craig has got the one where he fixed it all up.
and they replaced it, resettled it in another large, nice area. And it's still being used today by his children.
Okay,
Other
well,
than that, in fact, we just got a phone call from Craig, and he's coming over to visit us here one
good.
day next week.
Oh, good. Good,
Is
I'm
it
glad.
maybe tomorrow?
I hope so. I think he'd love to see him. Actually, there's some more things I do want to ask. One is, do you remember when you first became a parent, when you found out you were going to be a mom and a dad? How did you find out, and what did you think? You know,
When you found out you were pregnant,
when you found out you were going to be a mom.
Planned for it,
Okay.
and I remember going to the hospital, and the doctor said, I said, I'm not going to have this baby yet. And they sent me home. I said, I'm coming back again, and I had it on my anniversary.
Well, I meant more when you first found out you were pregnant, not when you gave birth. But
But how did I find out?
yeah, like did when you first found out that you were pregnant, how did you feel? I mean,
Well, we were planning for a baby.
okay. So you kind of knew it was coming then.
there was no shock.
Okay. So it was something you sat down and decided you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Okay. And
But we were shocked that we had an incubator.
eh,
We didn't seem to know too much, right?
Right.
well, what made you decide you guys were ready to have a child?
Well, at the time I was working, and we could afford it. And we had the child, and we went along with it pretty long. And then we didn't have a second child because we didn't think we could afford it. And when we could, we had
14
another
years
one.
later we had, wasn't it?
Yeah, everybody was shocked that we had one 14 years later. In fact, Gary was graduating elementary school, and Mom come to his graduation with the baby.
Nah.
Everybody was shocked.
Yeah, they didn't believe it was my baby.
Well, what was your proudest moment with both of your children, with both Gary and Mommy?
It was
The proudest moment.
with Gary.
Yeah, and Mommy too, but
It's just that you're overjoyed with your child. And you accept your child for what they are.
yeah.
And I was very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And the grandparents spoiled them.
My-
At least
My
Gary.
poor mother cried. She thought I was moving miles away.
Mm.
And we moved, it was around 2 miles away. And naturally they thought they wouldn't see us no more, but we used to drive there every day. Mom used to live at her mother's house practically.
It was 2 fares you had to pay. I remember waiting for a bus. I used to open my coat, put them in my coat, and wrap them up with me so they could keep them warm.
Oh. Well, also, what about...
We used to go to Aunt Betty's a lot.
Mommy always loved Aunt Betty. Also, I wanted to know something else. How did you get through hard times in your life? What seemed to do the trick when you were going through it?
I can't remember.
When you were
Hard
going through
times.
hard times,
The hardest time we had was 2 months really, where I quit my job and I really didn't have no other job to go to. It just was, I had enough of it. And And I remember in high school, I had an economics teacher that said, when you're unhappy with a job, don't hesitate to leave it. He said, you'll be smart enough to get another job.
Mm.
And that's when Mom come up with the idea of telling she was from the Veterans Administration. That was one of the, and I got the job. So it was really had to work. And my whole life was 2 months. And I collected two months worth of what they call 52-20 club. When you come out of the service, you didn't go to work. You got $20, no, 52, yeah, $20 a week. Was it a month? I don't even remember. And you had to live on that until you got a job. You were given that for 1 year as you got out of service. So I used 2 months of it. That was the only time I was out of work.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you seem like you had a very good marriage, the both of you. You've always had.
To travel with all his equipment for the fire department.
Oh, so it was probably a lot.
Horse and train, and he had no car that time. And he told me, never worry. If you see a guy with the white hat, ring the bell, then you know something's wrong. And I'll never forget. That must have been was that Gary, right?
Yeah.
When somebody rang my bell and you could look right down and there was the guy with the white hat. I got so nervous. I thought something happened. And they took the baby out of my arms and all the guys, they got together and they were canvassing all different areas looking for him. Somebody took his name off the board and didn't replace it.
Oh, okay.
And I reported to the fire station where they had told me to go, and I stayed there for the day and did my job. And they found out where I was. So it was a silly error.
Yeah, but it probably scared you, Nanny.
Yeah, and she got scared. But everything turned out fine.
I'm not so good to be in interview with Chris.
No, Nanny, you're doing great. You're doing great. I also wanted to ask you, because you seem like you've always been very much in love and you've always had a great marriage. Do you have any advice for keeping that marriage so great?
Any what?
Advice. Maybe for...
Never give advice. That's my advice.
To work together and don't argue or don't fight. If you have something to say, sit down and talk it over.
Okay.
And respect each other's rights.
All right. That's very true.
Just be human. Try to treat the person like the first day you met them.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
never have no trouble.
Well, I also want to know, just for the future, you know, obviously we have a lot of grandchildren in our family and all that. Do you have any hopes for them? You know, maybe something you want to see them do, or something you'd want to say to them?
No, just do what you want to do, not what everybody else wants to do.
I asked Nanny, do you have anything you'd want to say to your grandchildren? You know, like me, Johnny, Joey, Mikey, and, well, everybody pretty much. Like Laura, Rob, Anthony, all that.
I don't know what to say. Just to do what's right and go after what you want to do and what you want to become.
Okay.
And be happy with, as Grandpa said, be happy with your job. And I'm sure you'll be successful. You should try hard.
All right. And is there anything you would have wished you did differently in life?
Not really. I was happy with a job in the fire department. And I wouldn't mind going through it again.
Huh. Now, just another thing. Do you have maybe any words of wisdom you would say to just anyone, I guess? Maybe someone in my generation? You know? Do you have anything you'd want to say to someone in my generation, just anyone in particular, about, I guess, maybe your words of wisdom on life?
I say is,
My name isn't Trump.
I say with this generation, just don't get involved with drugs.
Yeah.
That's a big thing going on, and don't be intrigued when somebody offers you something. Don't take it,
Mm.
because you never know what they're handing you.
Nothing for nothing.
No. What do you mean nothing for nothing exactly?
Don't expect nothing for nothing.
Ah, okay. All right. And let me see if I have any other questions I could probably ask you. You know what? I'll just ask you for your simple stuff. What are your favorite things? Like everything from food, colors, pets, books.
Favorite food?
Well, foods, maybe favorite colors, songs. Do you want to name?
My favorite color is beige.
Mm-hmm.
And food. Right now, I don't have much of an appetite to tell you what my favorite is.
Oh.
I used to do a lot of cooking and a lot of eating, and I don't like eating out because you eat stuff you're not supposed to eat,
Okay.
and you always stuff yourself. Other than that, I don't know what to say.
I don't know. Just maybe. Did you have a favorite book or song or
Favorite what?
book or song?
Well,
I don't want to walk without
your
you.
baby. Yeah, that's our
Oh, yeah,
favorite.
earlier.
Yeah.
You like to dance to Lindy Hop and then stay.
Yeah.
When we used to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I was never a good dancer. We used to go out with this couple, and the two girls used to dance, and the fellow and I would sit down and drink and watch them.
Well, actually, you know, maybe one more question. I'll let you two go, and we'll chat again. What do you two love the most about each other?
What do we love each other?
Yeah, what do you love most about each other?
He's very lovable. He's very understanding, and he helps me all he can. And he should be blessed for doing everything in the house, helping me. Because I'm not much doing anything anymore.
Well,
We always try to help each other in any way we can.
mm-hmm.
And try to be nice. That's all.
It's the simple things that really make a difference.
We don't fight or anything like that.
Mm. Yeah. So you think you'll unlock the secret to staying in love? It's just really not fighting with each other and just being just kind.
Be nice. That's all.
Yeah. Just be nice.
Treat people like you want to be treated yourself.
Ah, golden rule, I see. All right, I'll let you two go. Thank you so much for participating. I might ask you some more questions in the future, but this is for now. Thank you, Manny and Papa.
When we have our 100th anniversary, you can re-examine what we said.
I think that sounds like a great idea. Thanks, Papa. Thanks, Nanny. I love you.
I'm not answering mine very...
No, you answered fine, Nanny.
emotionally.
Answer, you're doing a great job, Nanny. And I love you guys. I said you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Cliff.
I love you.